My name is Hadia Brown.
I'm Brianne Berger.
I'm Fiona Chamberlain.
And this is why you should vote yes on Prop 16.
Vote yes on Proposition 16.
Vote yes on Proposition 16. Proposition 16 will repeal Proposition 209, which banned affirmative action in the state of California. Affirmative action is where race and gender are taken into consideration regarding public employment, education, and contracting decisions.
Proposition 16 extends equal opportunity to all Californians. People of color and women are underrepresented in positions of power and wealth in California and across the United States. According to the Vera Institute of Justice, Black and Latino people are overrepresented in California's prison population, and the incarceration rate of Black people has increased by 260% since 1978. According to a report from the UC Office of the President, after Proposition 209 was passed, people from underrepresented groups were 31% less likely to be accepted to UC Berkeley. These students then went on to attend measurably less advantageous universities, resulting in them earning lower wages when they enter the workforce. According to a report from the Equal Justice Society, as a result of Proposition 209, California's minority and women business enterprises have lost the equivalent of $1.1 billion in public contracts. Proposition 209 has placed women and people of color at a further disadvantage and should be repealed by Proposition 16.
Women, and Black and brown women in particular, are disproportionately harmed by Proposition 209's ban on affirmative action. Planned Parenthood President and CEO Jody Hicks states that voting yes on Prop 16 will restore equal opportunity programs that specifically focus on helping all women, their businesses, and their educational success. Basically, voting yes on Prop 16 will directly benefit all women and their ability to succeed. In this time of Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ+, and other human rights protests, one message has become abundantly clear. We need to stand up for those who have experienced and continue to experience gender and racial discrimination. Voting yes on Prop 16 will take us one big step closer to a state of equality. Approving Proposition 16 would also help diversify California's higher education system. Prop 209 caused a decline in the representation of minority groups since it was passed. So, by allowing universities to consider race and gender in students' applications, the percent enrollment of underrepresented candidates will increase, thus diversifying each college campus and the overall university system.
In 2018, a woman named Maureen Simmons transferred to UC Berkeley as an undergraduate majoring in political science. During her interview for Berkeley Side, the school newspaper, she said the climate on campus for Black students was disheartening because she often felt like she didn't belong. Being one of the few Black students in her classes made her feel as if she had to speak up for the entire Black race. To her, this experience was eye-opening. The decrease in admissions of underrepresented students not only affected the students that didn't get in, it also had a negative impact on the students that were accepted. Maureen's situation is not uncommon, but it should not be normal for students of color pursuing a quality education to feel this way. Proposition 16 will help underrepresented students feel represented. Every student, regardless of their gender, race, economic status, and more, should feel welcome and accepted at whichever university they choose to attend.
Proposition 16 was proposed on January 18, 2019 by Shirley Weber, Mike Gibson, and Miguel Santiago. These three people are incredibly qualified to propose a proposition that has this much effect on people's lives. Shirley Weber is on the board of the NAACP, the YWCA, and the YMCA Scholarship Committee. She is also a Black woman who knows firsthand the plight of minorities and is confident that affirmative action and equal opportunity is important to have in the state of California. Mike Gibson is responsible for the first ever state-earned income tax credit for working families, and this indirectly lifted 135 children out of poverty. Gibson is also a Black man himself, so he also knows firsthand how much affirmative action is needed. Miguel Santiago was the first person in his immigrant family to graduate college, and he was partially responsible for making the first year of community college free for everyone in California. All three of these people know firsthand that affirmative action is good and necessary. One argument by Leo Terrell, a man who pushes people to vote no on Proposition 16, has said that We had a black president for 8 years, and you can't have systemic discrimination when the people that are allegedly being discriminated against are people in charge. Now, this argument does not hold up because just because one man was the president does not mean that racism is completely gone. Racism is an ongoing problem that needs to be solved by multiple people, and one person being the president is not going to change that.